more videos.
Welcome back, everybody. Drake Hawkins again, and we're back. We're playing some more Plan B Terraform, and we might have ourselves a bit of trouble with this water. My thoughts are that we find these things, and I think it says they must be built over humid ground, not submerged in water, green areas on the map. Okay, so the areas that are blue are not going to work, so if the water gets there, it's too much. Let's see if we can wall off behind this. Oh, that's weird. They don't seem to be like tracks where I thought they would be, where you extend the track kind of out in a line. It just seems to be no. This is a really bad interface for these walls. Oh, it's terrible. I'm doing something wrong, I imagine, but it just if not, then it's really bad. Then it's even worse at this than I am. Because that shouldn't be plop like that, like you're putting down these things. I mean, obviously a wall is like a wall. It's got linear, that's the whole concept. So maybe it should be different. It seems really awkward. Like I should be able to place and drag to wherever I want, not have to walk the walls out one square at a time. And why am I needing to build these instead of just, I don't know, weird. There should be elevation, I would think. Like there should be indications when you're building of elevation and where so you know where the water would eventually be. Because I don't know if this is like, is this water just coming up from a source like down here, or is this water just gonna always come up out of the ground in that spot, in which case anything that gets flooded ever stays flooded? Oh my gosh, this is a very awkward thing to try to paint out. Really awkward. Oh well, we'll deal with it. It is early access. It's what we got to play with, so. Yeah, this is the first really part that really feels like it's half-baked. Like it's an idea in the works. Doesn't feel like it's very well threshed out yet. Yeah, that's a really awkward way to try to paint these walls. Wait, what? I can go right through that rock? Huh. I suppose that's okay? I have no idea. I have no idea. Looks like there's some elevation change here, so maybe that'll be fine. It's really hard to tell on the topography. This is definitely seems to be lower than this part. Looks like somewhere up here we have a natural elevation change. So maybe even kind of where the track is, eh? Looks like we actually might have... I guess I can see if I use track. This is really awkward. But if I use the roads, some spots seem to have bumps in them, but doesn't even show very well. Like it's really hard to tell even looking at the screen just myself, but this seems higher than this. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Oh, it did stop the water. What happens to all this water that's in here? We're just permanently splashing through the spot, or? Looks like this is stuck. That's stuck. Those are still producing. Oh no. Okay, can we drain it? Or is it just filling up? Maybe that's draining. Oh, this is weird, dudes. Very weird system. Is that filling or is that draining? I don't know. I have no idea. Huh. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to the water overlay. Yeah, this whole place is green, but not what's there. Okay, and then we'll do... Oh, you know what? This back row can't get anywhere. Doesn't produce any water at all. Not good. What? There. Oh, I'm out of depots. No, I'm not. Oh, I can't build there because there's water there now. Is that what that is? Water equals 2.24. Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, I've never noticed this bottom bar. I guess I did. It was just longitude, latitude before, but look. Water, 1.4 meters. Water, like nothing. Up here, there's water. If I pull this out, does it drain out? No. Does this remove the water from those tiles? It does not. It just pushes it out further. Great. Oh, this is not a cool mechanic. This doesn't make any sense. Like, I understand the idea that, you know, putting water into the whatever would make sense, but there's no way that you would intentionally build completely blind to the idea that you're about to flood that territory. That makes no sense. If I do that and then remove them, how does that affect the water flow? Can I terraform it all? Maybe. We gotta get the population growing on one city or the other, otherwise we're never gonna have any stuff here. So that's why we can't have good things. So, well, the problem is I can't get the concrete. We need reinforced concrete here. Why are we not getting steel? Recycling shut down? No, we got tons of recycling going. Well, let's upgrade the number of trains running there. Oh, right. I had put more stuff in, but we didn't finish it here. Probably ran out of supplies or something. Like that, maybe? Okay, and then I could actually just put in a track like this. And have a station that picks up from here and drops off here. Okay, so let's take this one out of here. And then those are disconnected halves. So this can set destination to there. These steel bars. And haul it all over there constantly. Okay, but I need these to connect. Oops. How fast are you guys going to be able to transport? Probably not fast enough at all. Ah! No! Oh, dang it. Did I break that properly? I don't know what I just did there. There, is it going to continue? Maybe they'll continue. Okay. They are dancing them slowly down the line. That's something, okay. Maybe that was part of the issue. The waste was probably piled up like crazy. Okay, let's output like twice as much of that. And over here we'll do the same for that metal waste. Put a ton more cars to empty the waste out. They just have to be able to actually hold the input over here. I could honestly just do this and this and do a train there. That sounds really silly, but just run a loop around. It's just a local transit of metal waste. Yes. No, one is fine. Just drives it down the alley here and unloads. Silly, I'm sure, but that's okay. It'll do the job. It'll just loop around and around. 6 million trains running. It's very cathartic to watch. But the issue is, of course, our steel is not being put out fast enough here. Double this, triple it up. 3 more. 8 maybe. Alright. That should deliver the steel more aggressively down here. I hope. I mean, not the steel, the reinforced, or the concrete. No, wait. It's concrete. It's the steel being delivered down here. To here, I believe. No, it's to here. Alright, now we're starting to flow in some trains of steel. Good. There. Okay, that's 3. 4 loads. Okay, now we're starting to get some steel in, and we're building some reinforced concrete. And this is a pick up the reinforced concrete and move it? Yeah. It's gotta fill. The system is designed that it has to actually legitimately fill up, or it's not going to do the job. Where's the one that runs just the reinforced concrete around? Wait, where do you go? Which one is the reinforced concrete? That's steel, steel, reinforced concrete. Why are you running that? Oh, not the green. You're the yellow. There we go. I see. I was looking at green line. I was looking over here thinking that was something else. Okay. Another train. Do that faster. Not a lot moving there. Oh, that is slow. Is it because they're spending too much time shuffling things around, huh? Not ideal. They need more production out of this. By a very, very hefty margin. This is not efficient. It's still, however, in 7 point something meters of water. 8 meters of water. So I can never get rid of that water there? Oh, and no, this is, look it. The wall was built here and the water is coming in from behind it. So you don't get to manage the water and where it's allowed to flow, it seems. It just kind of comes up out of the ground. I mean, it would collect in the ground, obviously, but look at this. Look at the size of this. We got down to 12.8 degrees and we are just absolutely going to get flooded. So we can't, as far as I can tell, we can't build new turf on that at all. So I imagine, like, these towns seem to be in the rocks, but I imagine this town over here is gone. Yeah, there's no way we can work here. Unless we, well, maybe. If we start now and we wall this. Seems a little ridiculous. Seems a lot ridiculous. Like, dishearteningly ridiculous. Whatever design was intended here, it is not a fun game mechanic. I have had minimal complaints about this game, even though it, you know, with its, look at this. The water's just pouring through there. It doesn't care that I've got dams. It's just coming right up through there. So it's collecting there, so I can't. Perhaps I cannot ever use this space. Yeah, it just keeps building. Look, this spot has 1.3 meters, 1.4 meters. So at some point, once you start getting water, you just don't have access to live. Apparently the water takes out. Look, it's popping right up underneath the dam spot. So clearly those don't do what I think they do. I would think this should stop the water from coming through here, but it's not. The green space underneath is where there's groundwater. And which means it's obviously just designed to seep up through the ground. So this city is doomed, guaranteed, because I can't build on the water stuff. And this stuff here, well, all this concrete's gonna get wiped out. My God, this is not fun at all. It's like you've developed. Good job you got so far as to start doing some terraforming. And haha, just because you terraformed, you now no longer have access to any of the game that you built. Remember all that stuff you built and all those plans you had? They're gone. No, this is the most disheartening I've had in this game. The mechanic is demonstrably bad game mechanic. There's no indication as to elevation other than perhaps, yeah, altitude is shown on the bottom left, but there's no overlay. So you're building in blind. You have to watch every pixel as you move it and be like, not watch the pixel. You have to position it. Look down on the bottom left. It says 247 meters. Oh, I just moved a tile. 246 meters. So this is higher ground. Okay, goes from here and it jumps up by 20 meters or so. So that's that. I mean, that's a 20-meter incline. That's the difference of 2 or 3 trains stacked on top of each other in height difference. Right? You're going from 255 to 275 meters across 2 tiles. That's a 20-meter increase. If these trains are 10 meters high, which is absurdly tall train, that's 2 full trains stacked vertically on top of each other, and you can't see it visually on the map at all. So there's no terraform, there's no, like, in here you can see the topography a little bit, but that's so far zoomed out it's not practical for this. So functionally, we're being flooded out here. We will be entirely flooded out of the north up here. So the spot we picked was Bad Luck Doom. This is 50 meters of water now. So obviously we can't build anything there. I don't know how we're supposed to build at this point. It's like I'm trying to hold back the blight. And there is no option to do that. So all of this, whatever is here, is done. I don't think I can do any more here. Oh, maybe this is still green. Yeah, this is still green, so I better put these drills in because I'm not going to get access to building them after the water comes up through here. Apparently they seem to still function. No, I can't build there. Oh, is it? I'm out of drills. I am out of drills. That's a reasonable me problem. Yeah, our Atmos system stuff where I keep moving in and out materials, it's going to disappear real soon too. Wow, this is very disheartening. Very unpleasant. Yeah. Our Mark II depots are obvious. Depot space here is still producing, but it's not going to be able to for much longer. It's going to be wiped out. So let's go ahead and put some more oh, we don't have drills there. That was the whole point of coming over here, man. Drills. Oh. Is this? Yeah, this is the actual drills we can't access. There's no moisture issues here, so let's just take this whole thing out and just rebuild it. Make it happen. I mean, it's a battle, but clearly it's not a... If you can't tell already, I don't like the mechanic. It's terrible. Feels terrible. This is iron ore I'm trying to pick up here. Yeah, this is not fun. It was. Started out really fun. With zero warning, it just started swamping all my territory under. Not cool. Okay, and factories, we're going to manufacture some steel bars. And we'll put another one here for steel bars. And then I believe these are manufactured straight from steel. So a couple assembly plants in here that are extractors. There we go. Yeah, that is disappointing. All right, the issue I think is that I have absolutely no information on how to deal with it. Maybe there's something in here that talks about it. Raise population, terraform the planet. Well, don't raise your population until you've fully terraformed the planet. Or don't terraform the planet until you've fully raised your population, I should say. Open temperature and pressure charts. We might have some information in there if we do that. Transport, city supply, terraforming. Yeah. Total of temperature, current, minimum, maximum, daily average in the status bar to compare with the tree's characteristics. When temperature is high enough, soil is wet, check the water view. Trees you can plant will grow and spread. I'll show you how greenhouse gases, pressure, and the influence on the temperature produce greenhouse gas to warm up the temperature. Water will evaporate from the ground, rain, and flow to form rivers. Okay, that looks like a river to me. If it also looks like a giant lake, and this looks like it's going to be a giant ocean where I can't traverse it. I'm now cut off from north to south. Is this stuff gone? Is it still producing? I don't think so. I imagine we can't run the trains into that, right? Oh, maybe we can. Hold on, let's tell it to add a train to the line. Apparently the trains run just fine underwater. What? There's 25.5 meters of water right here. Why is there a train still running? It's visually submerged over to the belly of the drills. 10 years ago, these things were having problems with cleaning the dust off them, and now they're underwater. Why are you running back and forth? Oh, is it not being delivered? Oh, okay, that's not the bottleneck at all. It's the sulfur that's now the bottleneck. Okay. Can't find the sulfur now. Oh, there it is. Under the water. No, it's not. Here it is. It's right here. Okay, let's bank up a lot of more sulfur. That was the rail yards one? Yeah, okay, so we are actually going to bring rails through the rail yards. A little strange, but like that. Station can go here. And then we need to paint out a bunch of this. No, we're out. Ah. He has problems, Houston. We has problems. Okay, and there, 3, 4, 5. That. Get a sulfur. Okay, and then we're going to bring this along to join into this system. There. And we need a drop off for it to be over here. Set the destination for this from here. Oh, over here. There we go. Sulfur, please. 3 cars, 4? Sure. Run that sulfur in. Because who doesn't need more atmospherics? 7 degrees. Alright, we got runaway greenhouse problems. We should probably stop producing now. But I don't know. Do we stop producing? Perhaps. Run that for a little longer, and then we'll shut it down when it gets to like closing on 0 and see where it ends. If we shut it down at 0 entirely, how much greenhouse gas does it produce still? Don't know. Wow, that is entirely flooded out. So this, like, I can't build another mine here. It's not because I don't have drills. I've got 13 of them. I just can't build them here. Are they functioning at all? I don't know. Let's see. If I do that, these drills here are running. this drill is now not producing. No, so they won't produce underwater at all. Groovy. So I just built on the deposit that is the ocean, and I can't undo it. At least this guy's gonna keep producing. If I put... No, I can't even place the stuff there. Oh, this is rough. Uh-huh. Alright, we need to start producing some trees then. An evergreen tree that resists well to cold temperatures. Carbon and water. Well, I have lots of water, I think. Oh yeah, we are producing water. Good. Does that mean we're getting the food production going? Not sure I'd go that far. Let's bump this up to like 12 trains to ensure that more flow happens there. We are getting food. There is food stocking there, which is good. And the city now has food, but very low on... Apparently we're now low on high-tech materials. Okay, is that because of the water? No, we're not flooded here yet. Now, this is not a fun mechanic at all, this water mechanic. Not at all. It's because you don't get informed at all. You don't have no information that it's going to... where it's going to flow. Or certainly not a functional overlay. Perhaps there is information buried in there somewhere, but certainly not a detail that works. Now this is... yes, this is aluminum we're waiting on. And the aluminum wasn't happening because the recycling wasn't keeping up, huh? Now there's aluminum going out. Or happening, but not a lot moving. Let's up that to like 12 trains as well. Get the aluminum flowing again. And I think we'll put on a couple more refineries here. Get that going. There we go, the train's starting to drop off. These are bottlenecks all over the place. Oh my god, this place is missing everything. The only thing they have is oxygen in any volume. And they're entirely cram-packed full of waste. Just need to crank up the waste trucks. I should say metal waste, because that is different. Oh my. Jeez. Okay. Some will start moving there now. We've cleared out all the metal waste in this city, but we also have cleared out all the food and all the high tech. Waste disposal's working, supplies aren't quite full. 98% supplied. But that's a lie because it's only periodically. Needs to be faster unloading our vehicles here. There we go. Train of high tech coming in. Best Buy's got some pretty high prices in this city. O2 is fine. Metal waste trains are loading up. Yeah, we're not keeping up with any of the materials for these places. Our food supplies are definitely not keeping up. They're not even getting full trains, which is part of the problem there. This stuff is old school. It's all old news, right? Let's remove all this. There we go. Jeepers. Well, I'm not sure how to manage this. I will give it a little more time to try to figure it out. I might see if I can look with the developers, see what they have to say about this. Like, yeah, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. See this? This is all underwater now. 3 point something meters deep. So none of this is going to work. This entire station I set up was on lowland, but there was no indication that I was setting up on a place that would permanently flood and become useless. And I don't think these factories are going to operate at all. That's right. That's true. So we've lost our entire recycling, or entire steel, reinforced steel production to the flooding, which is fine if I had placed it there with some sort of, foreknowledge that this place was going to flood. There's no indications at all that that would be the case. However, if you're building on a planet that you're terraforming, you clearly would have that information readily available. Like, I happened to build here, which has meant our water and nitrogen from our ice drills just happened to still be working. But it's entirely a fluke thing. This is minus 44 to minus 8 up here, so the ice caps up there are going to start melting. Oh my, when that happens, that's going to change things quick, isn't it? And this space down here is up to 12 degrees, and it's thawed all the time. It's no longer frozen down here at all. Well, there you go. I think it might not be a bad idea to start considering cutting this out. Maybe. If I had a depot, clear this off, that would be lovely. Sulfur, please. And drill those two. And they should deliver to this guy. And that should be delivered by truck. See, there we go. It'll clear those out. Wow, okay. So, huge warning for you all. Please learn from my mistakes. You have to check the little tiny field info on the bottom left and decide guesstimate what meters altitude is going to flood. And I suppose early on you build your industry, like for instance, I should have built this stuff first. This is not mining at all now. That's right. So they're entirely stopped. The trains still run somehow. Yeah, but the thing doesn't work. So all of that is a loss. That's really frustrating. That's really frustrating. This entire system I built is just destroyed instantly by flooding that is entirely normal if you know what happens. But the thing is, you would obviously 110,000% know that it was going to happen beforehand, but there was no indication of any such thing. Until I hit this and saw the blue was there, I had no indication that it was even happening. There was no message, hey, you're getting your first surface water or any of these things. These things are terrible looking design. Man, I'm very disappointed. See, now the water is gonna rush on down here. 0, it's 0.9 here. But this is still filling up up here, yeah. Yeah, there's no, so you don't get to block the water. I don't know what these dams are supposed to be for, but there's definitely no blocking the water. It just comes up out of the ground at this point. So I imagine once the temperatures here start hitting, start dropping into the zeros. Right now we're 0 max temperature hits right here for the first time. So at this point we should be able to have standing water. Although, I mean, this is weird. You got 1.7 meters, 1.8 meters of water here. Except for it's always at least minus 13. That doesn't mean standing water, dudes. That's 0 water. That's solid ice. We got 75 meters of... I think somebody's still in... I think this whole water thing is still in the very, very early, haven't quite figured out how we're going to make it work scenario. So, yeah. All right, well, I think at this stage, unless I'll do some more research on the side, assume this is going to be the last episode of this series until they upgrade and change things up, because right now, as far as I can tell, there's nothing I can do to, aside from just picking up and moving everything. There's nothing I can do to deal with this, and they definitely have a lot of thinking to go still on the realism of some of these functions. I mean, normally you don't complain too much about realism in a game, or I don't. I try not to, but water management being, surface water management in a terraforming thing is clearly a core feature. So to have 75 meters of liquid water appear in the Arctic Circle, where the temperature is minus 14 degrees at the warmest, minus 18 degrees at its warmest, down to a minus 46. I mean, nope, there's nothing sensible about that. So this is cool how it's building like a lake here and down here. That's kind of funky, and it's neat to see how the like rivers actually sort of form out from the lakes, and then these will probably connect in some sort of way. There's like a mountain ridge that runs down here, so higher elevation. But this is elevation 420 meters, 408 meters. Oh, on the water point, it's 408 meters, right? So that's 408 meters elevation, and it's got standing water on it. So I was thinking over here, well, this is 275, so we're fine if we're up above that, but no. 408 meters. So basically, at the rate this is producing water, if it gets any sort of positive temperature, if the average temperature is at 0 when it hits 0, I would be surprised if we didn't have, nothing left but basically we're building an oceanic planet that'll have maybe little volcanoes and ridges that'll be above ground, but of course these are all not usable. None of this is like buildable, so we got standing water forming right here. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. So this mechanic has entirely defunct the whole system for me. Is no playability at all here. Yeah, because we could probably continue if we replace this whole thing, which we can do. We could relocate it, but it's all broken now. It's all fully functionally broken. Less than half of this is manufacturing. There's somehow a ton of reinforced concrete, but that's probably because it's not been being delivered, perhaps? Oh, you know what that is? That'll be because our stations are probably submerged now. Is that what's happening? No? Somehow our reinforced concrete... Let's pop this up to like 500. On that one, and like 500 on this one. This is an intake. Yeah. I am getting also a little bit of lagging in weird sort of ways here. Not sure if why these trains are taking so long to move through. It may be that they're stacking on top of each other. Yeah, it's because there's so much of this stuff here that's got limited logistics throughput. So we're not getting enough drones to move the materials onto them. Now these guys will go and try to collect some, hopefully daisy chaining the line down. Yeah, not functional when it's entirely flooded under 10.5 meters of water. So, well, that's it for that series. I liked the logistics function of it. It's kind of neat to do the balancing of the different resources. The train system is actually seemed really, really awkward at the beginning, but it's actually quite simple to manage here. I'm going to go ahead and take out these, and we'll take the other atmospheric system out. Over here. I love how nothing produces fossil fuels, or nothing uses fossil fuels. Nothing produces emissions at all. We got like 1,000 trains and 500 or 200 and some trains probably running, and 4, 5, 6, 800 trucks were running at a time, and 0 of that is emitting at all. But so you can shut off and like a valve turn on and off the atmospherics. So we should stop with the stop increase. This should immediately pan out to 0 and to par now. So let's keep it running on fast speed to see how this goes for temperature. We're still increasing. This jump here was when we added in the NF3, and that changed the scenario quite a bit. Seasonal temperature variations are interesting. We are slowly getting concrete to New Alexandria, and it keeps going in spurts and jumps as far as its productivity goes. We're soon going to have standing water river running right through this beast, destroying it, so we won't get... Why are we so... Oh, how do we get back down to slow speed? Didn't see that happen. I don't know when I did that. That sort of a dealio there should be fine. That. There we go. Some more aluminum being manufactured. Tons of it piling up here. And you guys are probably not going to be able to reach there unless we do that. Let's up the number to like 500 on these as well. Not that they're actually going to be able to move that much out of here. Buzzing along, they got their food, they got their concrete. It's just a constant balance back and forth, but I'm really surprised at this water flooding situation. So yeah, the I don't know what these dam elements are for. It says blocks water. It clearly does not block water. It's holding the water in by our structures instead of letting it flow. And all of that is coming into this space, so the mechanism is not... It's not a fun mechanic for a game, certainly, and it's not, in my opinion, and it's certainly not an easy to understand mechanic, and it's got 0 information for you. This is all flood in useless territory. All of this is useless now because I told it to be useful, and it won't be because, you know, bye-bye your text, your plans. Because, surprise, we didn't tell you that we were going to flood all the ground in random direction, or not in random directions, basically infinitely out from the center. It's really funky how it's building these river lines, though. I love it. I really do like this how this looks. Mechanically, game-wise, it's not really understandable. Yeah, why do I have standing water here at an elevation 575 meters, but it doesn't flow down anywhere? That's the low spot in the area? No, that's the high spot in the area. Look at this. That's a high spot. It's 600 over here, 570 there, but 540's in here, and it's 570 in here. So this should be flowing right down here to go join this, but it's not. It's just standing there. Don't understand. This is the low spot. Okay. I don't understand what the intended purpose is here. And why would we spawn? Why would we have decided to come here and set up a city and not surveyed the land? No sense there. None whatsoever. See, this is obviously some sort of impossible ridge, because the elevation 370 doesn't jump. It barely climbs up, but it's a perfectly line running right through the middle of this. That's ungreened. I don't know. I don't understand. I really kind of want to see what happens when the Arctic here starts melting. This is minus 40 to minus 4, which means it's not melting yet. Aside from the 43 meters of solid water we have standing up further in the Arctic. Cranking along at 100, we're at 150 years now, 53,000 population. I don't know. We'll see. If I can figure out what's going on with it and if it's actually viable, maybe we'll press through. But if you guys let me know in the comments what you think and what you think we should do about it. It's just very, very disappointing play. I was really enjoying it, and then basically everything magically got wiped out without information. The whole point of terraforming is that you know what you're doing. You don't do this stuff without tons and tons of knowledge. We have in IRL, we have the actual real world capacity to terraform a planet at this point. We already know how we can do that in many various different ways. And we've got details that are very accurate to this point where we would be like, yes, and we'll build structures on this place, but we will not build structures on this particular Mons on Mars or whatever, right? We won't build in this area because it's a lowland. Well, we know this 50 to 100 years before we ever consider terraforming. But here, it showed nothing except for these rocks and basic, topography images, but those still don't make any sense, and neither does the temperature fluctuations. The only way this happens is if there's a copious amount of water locked up in the planet and it all of a sudden starts thawing and oozing to the surface. This isn't atmospheric condensation. Although I think that's what they're trying to imply. But you don't... The reason why the Antarctic is not actually... the Antarctic is not actually losing ice, like some people have suggested it is, IRL, is because this actually doesn't happen. When moisture goes towards the Antarctic, in our real world, it freezes, and then it accumulates. And the Antarctic is actually accumulating a lot more water than is actually melting off it right now annually. In most of it. There's like a really nasty, dangerous part that's a tip that is really having problems, and it's melting madly. It's dangerous. But the bulk of it is not doing this. Yeah, very disheartening finale. I'm sorry, guys. If you've got suggestions... Oh, that's a cool looking triangle. I forgot about that. If you got suggestions, let me know. It was interesting to see how they played with the differences in running a globe that's actually a globe. It's like the projections maps, where we have the Greenland that looks like it's bigger than Africa, for instance, but landmass-wise, it's like a tenth or whatever. But on the maps, on the projection maps that we look at it and are used to seeing, so you can't do that when you're actually able to spin around on an actual globe. So they've done these funky things like in here, where we have, where was it, up here, right here, where we've got like this, and it does like weird twists and turns because the shapes of the like that, the shape of the voxels, the squares, the hexes aren't all hexes. See this shape? You know what I mean? And it's not just topography showing there. That's the twist lines, the correction lines to allow you to do a globe. It's pretty well done. It's interesting. It leaves for some funky shapes, but I think it's totally viable. I loved watching the city expand and do its thing as you deliver the supplies and remove other supplies. And removing waste. Nice, more waste to be removed. Awesome. And that gets trucked up here and converted into, hi, that's getting full. Converted into organics. Like that. Boop. And that. And that. There you go. More organic waste usage. Cool system. There's a lot of cool systems. Definitely a lot of things to sort out and figure out. And these are absolutely god-awful ugly. This has got to be a placeholder. Really terrible looking placeholder. It has to be. I can't imagine that was intentional. But maybe I'm no artist, but I know what makes me cringe. Well, thanks everybody so much for joining me for the series. It's been very fun, except for the problems with this last one, but we made it 150 years in, 86,000 population. We didn't hit the million cap or fully terraform the planet, but you know, we'll see if we go any further. You guys let me know if you really want me to hunker down and push through what feels very silly in here, and we'll see. I want to see this. Yeah, the temperature is plateaued, instantly plateaued. That's interesting. That is, I mean, it's entirely inaccurate and unreasonable, but it's very, very precise. Huh. So if I turn those back on, it'll immediately come back up and produce more and move more. So maybe that's designed that way to, not for realism, but to allow you I guess I could say a degree of micromanagement control over the temperature fluctuations. So we should see an instant bump. The next track on this should jump up. So another thing, perhaps these atmospherics will absorb once you get forestry going. Don't know. All right, well, we'll leave it for now. If we can see some improvements in things, or if I can figure out what it is that I'm doing that's making it fail, then we'll maybe come back and try another. Oh, pardon me. Try another episode or two, and promise it's not boring. It's just the talking. Yeah, see, our population's doubled in the main city in this time. It's just weird. I don't know. We'll see. Not keeping up, that's for sure. Woohoo! Population of 53,000. They demand 324 items. Supply. That's pretty crazy. Thanks, everybody. Have yourselves a great rest of the day. Farewell from New Alexandria in Bumbleberg, the strangely frozen water planet. Not ice. Freezing cold water. Don't go for a polar run in that place. It's dangerously cold. Have yourselves a great day. See you in game.